we're actually bringing out some truths, peel back the layers of all this fluff.
Shining the light on this industry as a whole. Maybe you should stay away from it.
Hi everybody, welcome to Real Estate Raw and Uncut. This is episode 130. I'm Byron Lazine, he's Tim Beret.
What's happening?
What's going on?
You know, I got a lot of flack.
Looking good.
I appreciate that, brother.
You know?
Christmas party today, right? We got some photos going on?
We got a team photo, we got the Christmas party, big day. I'm gonna go into my, my suit type of stuff for the photo. Holding it off as long as I can.
That's a good call. I like that.
I don't want to sweat through this.
So on Saturday, we did the radio show.
Yeah.
And you did a little Facebook Live. My kids were extremely disappointed in my dad.
Oh, it was
awful.
God. My son just,
They said it was no good.
They did. They were like, your head's supposed to be down, but
I see Cam Newton doing it,
It's supposed to be like one of those, like an up, not a down.
Yeah.
See, I was down.
Your hands were going down. I don't know how you pulled that off.
And even Lisa Carberg's daughter was on me.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew.
You gotta work. So did you work on it over the weekend?
I just showed you.
You had it up.
I had it up. I went up.
Cam Newton's not doing too much dabbing this year like he was last year. I know all the Cowboy fans out there last night. Giants should have been doing a little bit last night.
The streak has been broken.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Giants, possible Super Bowl run. You heard it here first on Raw and Uncut.
America's team went down.
So what do we got?
When we were on the radio show, we started talking about vision boards and that time of year and how effective they are. And, we had 1 million people on, from what I hear, listening to the radio show.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I immediately heard from people the effect that it had on them. So if you do, they meant a lot to you in your life, and you've kind of made it a staple. Can you went through and talked about the tiers and whatnot. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, for me, one, if you go back and look at, if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, you can go on to YouTube/Byron Lazine and find the talk that I gave at Tom X this year, which that'll give you more context as to why I believe so much in having a plan for my life, having not only a business plan, but a life plan. And that really starts for me in the month of November. So I go out and I take down the vision board from the last year. I figure out.
So what is a vision board?
So it's really, for me, it's just a cardboard board, right, that I put on the wall with all kinds of printouts of things that I want to accomplish in the upcoming year. Not material things. Some things may be material, but mostly it's events that I want to take place, how I want the next 12 months to play out for my life. First thing I do, and the reason, I think you asked me the question, well, how long does it take? Well, actually putting the board together doesn't take much time at all. I think on the radio I answered that kind of the wrong way. I said like 45 days, but because I continuously look at this over that November to January 1 time frame, I'm reevaluating. Like I've already tweaked our Seaport Real Estate Group's transaction goal for this year is 229. We had thrown out an arbitrary number of 300. That started on my vision board. That's come down. There's a much more meaningful number when you look at everybody's individual goals, and we got to 229, right? But the first thing I do for me, my board that's at my home, is I ask my wife, Nicole, like, what's important for you in the next 12 months? What do you want to see happen in our lives? And I put those things on the top, right?
Okay.
So the previous year, we had this really cool photo of starting a family, right? And that was at the top, and now we're expecting in February.
Now you've got another child that's going to be up there?
No. We have the one that hasn't come yet. It's coming in February. Sure. Due date's Super Bowl Sunday, so Giants, they're looking pretty good. We may have a conflict of interest there.
I don't think you're going to have to worry
And
about it.
the second kind of section of my vision board is like some of my personal stuff, right? And then that last bottom section is business, so a lot of this, Seaport Real Estate Group stuff, a lot of the property packet stuff is on that personal business goals, because that's going to support everything we want to do throughout the year, right? So, and I love the vision board. I love that Nicole has bought in completely into it. And she's excited about it, right? Because she's seen the last couple of years how many things we've checked off, as opposed to back when, if you watch my talk, when I was miserable, when I was just going through the motions, when I didn't have a plan, when I was making a lot of mistakes, when I didn't have a mentor. Man, things were rough at home because all of that stuff,
which makes it all that much more powerful. Right?
Absolutely.
So I'd also mentioned on the radio, I know a statistic, and we love statistics, but it was geared towards the it was a graduating class from Yale. And it had stated, they interviewed everybody.
Yeah, I love this.
And they had, 3% of those graduates that year actually wrote down their goals.
Which makes a lot of sense.
So then they went back to that same graduating class many years later, interviewed those same people, and found out that the 3% that had written down their goals, their income was more combined than all 97% combined.
That makes even more sense than the fact that only 3% did it, right? And if you...
But we're talking Yale. Shouldn't these guys be...
Here's the thing. It's difficult in life sometimes to buy into the cliche shit, but that stuff actually works, right? So when people say, oh, vision board or goal setting, well, is that what's the movie everybody refers to, the visualize, The Secret.
The Secret.
Does that stuff really work? Well, I can tell you right now, if you don't have a plan, when things happen, like when things bad in your life happen and you veer off for a while from the plan, if you don't have a plan, you have nothing to come back to. So you just stay on that path. Right? Of self-destruction, of depression, of just...
Man, that's a whole...
Being inside your head, that's a whole other thing, right?
But we should probably get into that later.
Well, for me, having the vision board, then having the life plan, the business plan each year completely insulates me from being able to go down a depressive state.
Sure.
Right?
Because you've been there.
Because I've been there. When things destructed in my business life, I let that affect my entire life. Instead of saying, things are going to happen this year where it's like, oh, deals are going to fall apart, right? Clients are going to have issues. Like, there's going to be things that happen. But if I know I have something to center back to with a bigger purpose, bigger goal, I'm going to help this many people this year. I'm going to do this many things for my family. Whatever it may be, those struggles aren't going to just pull me all the way down into that mindset.
Where is your vision board?
It's right in my, what I call my office. It's one of the bedrooms of my house. First thing I do every morning.
So you see it every day?
Every day. So I'm up at 4:45. I do a 5 a.m. call. Shout out to the 5 a.m. club if you're watching this. 5 a.m. 5-minute call. Right where I'm sitting down for my 5 a.m. call, the vision board's right here.
Love it.
So I'm looking at my vision board. I'm doing my 5 a.m. call. I'm writing a few things down. 5:15, 5:20, I'm out the door. I'm heading to the gym. That starts my morning routine. My morning routine, being completely robotic every single day, is the jump start to being able to fulfill the whole entire plan. Right?
Come on, it's gotta cost you a lot of money to create this. No? What's your obstacle? Who
No.
can't do this?
Anybody. That's the great thing. Anybody can do it, right? Anybody can take the responsibility. And here's the thing about goal setting. Please, at least write down your goals. You're going to be ahead of 90% of the people. But don't just shove them into your desk drawer. Do it on January 1, like when you're hungover from New Year's Eve. Shove it into your desk drawer and then never look at it again, right? Put it somewhere visual and hold yourself. The great thing about it is when you tell people your goals, when your wife knows your goal, your spouse, your partner knows your goals.
They tend to happen.
They tend to happen because people are holding you accountable.
We use the word, what'd you use? Responsible.
Yeah.
So, responsible. You're able to respond. Anybody is. So you take some of these words apart that you're using, and everybody needs to be accountable for these
Absolutely.
things. Before we get off of this thing, you've mentioned a lot about Nicole. My wife's birthday is today. And she's been my rock. And she's gotten me through those hard times. So happy birthday, Cam. Love you. Hope you
Happy
have a great
birthday,
day.
Cam. She's like one of our 3 viewers on the show, too. See ya.